Yo, guys, Urban Bars brings you the best UK reactions to rap, hip hop, and urban music from all around the world. And guys, when we're talking about the best of the best, we sometimes go back into our minds and we think of Albert Einstein. So when we're talking about the best of the best and we talk about intelligent people, the most intelligent people that have graced this earth, a lot of people say Albert Einstein. And guys, I didn't realize those are his figures, his dates, 1879 to 1955. So what's that? Three quarters of a century? That makes him 75, 76 when he passed. So, guys, let's listen to the quotes of Albert Einstein about life, success, and women. And these are wise quotes, people. And, guys, this can be interesting because I haven't seen this before. So, I might have something to say, I might not have something to say, but let's listen to the quotes of Albert Einstein about life, success, and women.
Life is a preparation for the future, and the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none.
That's interesting. So when you break it down, our man Albert Einstein is saying life is the preparation for the future. So is Albert Einstein saying that there's something that comes after life? Or is he meaning something else? I absolutely don't know. So, it's not a loaded question, guys. This is something that you can answer in the comment section down here. And then the second part of this is, and the best preparation for the future is to live life as if there were none. So literally what he's saying is you only get one go at this, people. So there's no room for errors, hits, and mistakes because it's not a rehearsal. There's no role reversal. There's no reversals, no rehearsals. There's no, let's come back another day and play this again. So literally live your life, and that's it. That's Oh yeah, that's really good. I like that. So life is a preparation for the future, and the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none. I like that. Guys, let me know what you think about that in the comment section because yeah, we started with a good one there. I like that.
Knowledge and ego are directly related.
Hmm. Knowledge and ego are directly related. Hmm.
The less knowledge, the greater the ego.
And I like that, the latter part of that. So as one's ego expands, apparently it's relative to one's lack of knowledge. So the more knowledgeable the person, potentially the less their ego. So that's where you say, like, the quiet person in the room, everyone else is yipping and yapping and, barking and whatever. But then when you come down to it, when you really want a really, really succinct answer, piece of knowledge, maybe it's best to look at the quietest person in the room. And I've seen that a lot in meetings as well, people, where it happens a lot and in more than a few meetings actually, where everyone's got an opinion and then suddenly someone says, well, hang on a minute, they haven't said anything. Let's ask their opinion. And actually their opinion was probably the best and the wisest, the most sage piece of knowledge of that 10 minutes of back and forth. I like that. So knowledge and ego are directly related. So the bigger the ego, the less the knowledge. So I need to keep this zipped. Really?
Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving.
That's self-explanatory, people. I like that.
If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales.
Guys, I think I've seen this on a previous reaction I've done to Albert Einstein quotes. And that is really true, guys, because it says here, if you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. So these fairy tales are parts that get the mind, the parts of the brain to imagine and to think beyond the parameters that we limit ourselves to. And I think by imagining and just thinking about stuff without having any fixed idea or trapped into a box is how things get done. Because if you think the way we've always thought, then nothing will be we won't have any new kind of thinking and new thoughts. I don't know if that's right, but I think imagination is one of the most powerful tools we have in our brain. Our brain's a very, very powerful tool, instrument, organ, whatever you want to call it, computer, machine, who knows? But the brain's very powerful. It is actually infinitesimally powerful. It's incredible. So the human mind is an powerful. It is an it what really? Not my mind, obviously. My mind is not very good at all. But the human mind is an infinitesimally powerful tool that should be allowed to experience all the elements that we can expose it to. And I think in fairy tales, it allows us to dream. And I think it's really weird. Was it Archimedes? Did he have it in a dream? A eureka moment? Was it him, Archimedes' wheel? Something like that, Archimedes. Or maybe it's wrong, I can't remember. Was it Europe? Was it Archimedes? Yeah. Anyway, what I'm trying to say on that, guys, is that when we are at rest, when we dream, and we have probably the best ideas ever. When we're not even trying to think about things, that's when our ideas are great. And I think fairy tales allow the mind to wander. I think that's what it should be.
Else. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales.
I like that. I like that indeed.
The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before.
And I like that on the literal side. And also, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. So, I mean, literally, from way back in the days, like talking about my hip hop boxing days, whatever, I used to go so many places on my own, on my J's, whatever. So I was born and brought up in the west side of London. But many of my activities got me moving to East London, to North London, and a lot to South London. And a lot of those were meeting people in those areas as well, or just traveling on my own, whatever. So that's right, yeah, but if you just follow the crowd, the crowd was probably quite near to me in West London, I would probably not experience these things. But what I think our man Albert Einstein means about this is if we just follow like sheep, everyone's kind of thinking that we'll never experience or we'll never allow ourselves to leave that kind of pen. We're all penned in and we'll never ever outreach ourselves and challenge ourselves and experience anything. So the woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before. Yeah, life's a journey, guys. And it's a journey that we go in on our own, although we have many touch points where we're with other people along that way. But still, that journey is essentially a single journey. Like
the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination.
So when he says here the true sign of intelligence is knowledge, sorry, it's not knowledge but imagination, that ties into the part when he's talking about the fairy tales. It's imagination is what moves things forward. I mean, knowledge is good. It's good to have book knowledge. It's good to have experience knowledge as well. But it's really important to have imagination. Imagination allows us to fly, to dream, and to go far beyond our physical capabilities.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding.
Yeah, I agree with that. So peace can't be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. So in my opinion, force will be met with equal and resistant force.
Persistence is the most powerful force on earth. It can move mountains.
And that's what I say on this channel, guys. I always say we keep moving forward no matter what happens. It's called tenacity, just being tenacious and just keep going, guys. Keep going. If you really believe in what you're doing, no matter what the obstacle, no matter what they throw at you guys, you keep going forward. There's obstacles and roadblocks that will, showstoppers that will all be thrown in our way, guys, for whatever reason. Our job is, if you really believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing, and you believe in what you are doing is correct and right for whatever reason, keep going, guys. Persistence is the most powerful force on earth. And that's the truth, guys, because if we give up, we have an idea about something, we present it, and they say to us, no, it's not good enough, or you'll never get anywhere. You hear the stories, it happens all the time. If you really believe in yourself, keep going, persevere, guys. It could and probably will pay off in the end.
The true definition of madness is repeating the same action over and over, hoping for a different result.
Guys, everyone knows this, I'm sure. So I didn't realize it was our man Albert Einstein's quote. So literally, you'll do the same thing again and again every single day, like Groundhog Day, trying to get a different result. But it's not going to happen, is it? So that's why people think you're mad for doing it. But having said that, sometimes it does work, because if we go back to the previous quote about persistence, maybe every single other person you meet or come across will think you're mad to keep persevering about your new invention, your new play, your new whatever it is. Everyone has told you this is absolute rubbish, it's garbage, blah, 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 blah. But if you believe in yourself, you'll keep presenting it, and potentially, maybe, one day you'll find that one person who actually believes in your dream. So, yep, there's a point to this. Or maybe I'm being pointless, I don't know.
If I had only 1 hour to save the world, I would spend 55 minutes defining the problem, and only 5 minutes finding the solution.
Guys, this is something that I would love you to let me know in the comment section. What do you think? I like that.
At least once a day, allow yourself the freedom to think and dream for yourself.
Totally agree with that, guys. We need to just... Our imagination is the most powerful tool.
The only mistake in life is the lesson not learned.
And people say fail fast, because by failing quickly you learn the lessons, and then if you utilize what you've learned, you can move forward and avoid making the same mistakes. So that goes back again to the definition of madness, by making the same mistake again and again and again. And the reason probably people do that is because they don't have a look at the lessons learned. They don't use the lessons learned.
Those who manage their way into a crisis are not necessarily the right people to manage their way out of a crisis.
That's self-explanatory. I think some person told me, was the guy's name Zig Ziglar or something like that? I'm not sure. But he was saying that people should be maneuvered into finding their own level of failure. Something like that. I don't know the exact words, so I haven't seen the full quote. But literally, that means that people will actually find their own place. So if that person is destined to be a CEO, that person will be a CEO. But if that person is only destined to be maybe a manager or a senior manager, they'll find their own level, and that's it. And then at some point, that level will manifest itself, and they will not rise higher. So this is another one when people, they'll manage their way into a crisis. So you've got yourself into this position, but you are not necessarily the person to get yourself out of that predicament. Not position, predicament.
Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world.
So we've had all that about imagination. I totally agree.
A great thought begins by seeing something differently, with a shift of the mind's eye.
Yeah, agree with that as well.
When you trip over love, it is easy to get up. But when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand again. Know where to find the information and how to use it.
Oh,
That's the secret of success.
know where to find the information and how to use it. So there's 2 of the 6 honest serving men, and that is so true. That will be your secret of success. Where and how.
More the knowledge, lesser the ego. Lesser the knowledge, more the ego.
So you've had that previously, knowledge and ego. Sorry.
I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist and right.
That makes sense, because if you're a pessimist, you're looking on the dark side of things. And if you're a pessimist who's correct, then it means that you're absolutely right. And so that means, the dark side is correct. So if you're thinking that there's failure ahead and you're a pessimist and you're correct, then so I get that. So if you're an optimist, you're always thinking of a bright side. It's better to be an optimist, and be a bit of a dreamer. Yeah, I get that. Than a pessimist who is correct.
The world is not threatened by evil people, but by those who allow evil to take place.
So I think Albert Einstein is saying there will always be evil people in this world. Always. But it's if we allow those evil people to take the positions, to take up the positions where they can affect the most damage. That's the problem. It's about us allowing evil people to, yeah.
Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school.
Oh, I've not heard that before. So, yeah. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what was learned in school. Guys, that's a good one. Let me know what you feel in the comment section on this. I might wheel back to this one. I like that one.
One should respect an honest person, even if he expresses opinions differing from one's own.
And guys, this one is really pertinent to today's society. With the what's it called, social media, sort of the whole shebang, whatever you want to call it. So one should respect an honest person, even if he or she expresses opinions different from one's own. So literally, guys, we're living in a world where if your opinion doesn't agree with my opinion doesn't agree with your opinion, then that's it. You got to leave this place. I don't care what these people think. My mind was drifting back to Rapper's Delight. I'm just sitting here anyway, but it's that kind of thing, guys, where it's madness, isn't it? Just because you have a difference of opinion doesn't mean that you people, 2 people, 3 people, more than one, whatever, doesn't mean that we can just get along still. You can get along with having different opinions, but it looks like everything's black and white. It's like, for instance, if you don't agree on this subject, then we'll never agree on other subjects. So never between me and, I don't want anything to do with you and don't have anything to do with me. Really? Is this the world we want to live in? Oh my goodness. It's crazy. But I think this one should respect an honest person. And what Albert Einstein means from there, if an opinion is given from an honesty of the heart, then how can you, just smash and, cancel the other person? So one should respect an honest person, even if they express opinions different from one's own. Guys, debate.
Life isn't worth living unless it is lived for someone else.
Oh my gosh, that's so true, guys. I 100% agree with that. So life isn't worth living. So if you live your life for yourself, then but yes, if you live it for someone else. So for instance, if you have a loved one, a child, a parent, someone who's dear to you, that is what makes life worth living. I agree with that. Life isn't worth living unless it's lived for someone else. Yeah, totally. And it's what makes us humans, people. Oh my gosh, I agree with that 100%. Oh my gosh, I agree with that 100%.
It is better to believe than to disbelieve, In doing you bring everything to the realm of possibility.
Agree?
I think 99 times and find nothing. I stop thinking, swim in the silence, and the truth comes to me.
And I said that about, was it Archimedes in his dream, when you're in the shower, when you're not actually thinking about the subject you've been fretting over or trying to solve for the last month, years, days, minutes, hours, whatever. That's when it comes to you. Incredible. I like that. I think 99 times and find nothing. When you really, but then I stopped thinking, swim in the silence, because in that time your mind's relaxing, and it's literally working out in the background. The mind is a very powerful organ, very powerful.
Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature.
Discuss.
To be free means to be independent, not to be influenced by what others think and say.
Guys, I love that. And that's why I talk about freedom of speech, guys. You have an independence of thought. You're not controlled by the hive mind. Really?
Never regard study as a duty, but as the enviable opportunity to learn.
I love this. I love this. Never regard study as a duty, but as the enviable opportunity to learn. And guys, this is what I did from when I was a young kid. I used to go out, I was well into my hip hop boxing, all that sort of stuff. But I used to spend many hours in my local library, up in the reference section, just reading through the textbooks, reading through all their documents, reading through files, reading through thesauruses, all sorts of stuff, and just really just learning about all sorts of all sorts of things, whether they had any relation to myself or not, didn't matter. And the thing about what Albert Einstein said here is, study should not be a duty. It should be something that you want to do willingly. I don't really believe that you will ever learn anything truly if it's a duty, if it becomes an obligation to do. But if you do it out of absolute wanting to do it, then that's when you truly learn. That's when you truly learn. It's when you want to do something. But if it's something that's forced upon you, you probably won't truly learn.
I never think of the future.
Love
It
that.
comes soon enough.
And I believe that 100% too, guys. I would never, ever want to know my future. I remember a guy came up to me last week on the street and he said, "Oh, you have, was it, I can't remember, something like, you look like, so, you're an honest person or a wonderful person. Can I read your palm, etc." I said, "No. Two things, people. I really do not want to know my future. Trust me, I don't want to know my future. Good, bad, or indifferent. I don't want to know." And as Albert Einstein said, it's soon come. And the other thing is, if you know your future, will that influence your actions towards it? I don't know. Probably better just to live your life, as he says, and what will come will come. Que sera. I don't know.
Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted in important affairs.
Guys, that's so true. So true. So if you sweat and you're lying about the small stuff, what are you going to do with the really important stuff? That was great, guys. So guys, that was incredible. That was quotes from Albert Einstein about life, success, and women. Guys, I've learned a lot today. That was great. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comment section what you think about some of those quotes. Are they relevant to you now? Were they relevant before? Are they irrelevant? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Which ones did you like? Which ones don't you like? Which ones, relate to you? Which ones don't? Let me know down here in the comment section. And guys, please can you subscribe to my channel here at Urb'n Barz if you like what you hear and what you see. And yeah, just let the YT algorithm know that Urb'n Barz is here and that, we're enjoying it. So guys, hopefully I'll see you in the next reaction. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and make certain we hook up